Hey everybody, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name is Eric and we're going to do a dive watch comparison between a Rolex and a Seiko. Granted, not a regular Seiko. Oh, also, I should show you this shirt. It's the only time I'm ever going to wear it. It says SSI Team, which is Scuba Schools International, and the back says Master Diver. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just telling you that I became a master diver, which is the highest you can get, and also referred to as a rescue diver. The reason why I'm telling you this is it has almost ruined my channel. Really, it really has. The time that I spent with dive watches and the way I look at them now, completely different than I did before. So resale value doesn't matter. What's prettier doesn't matter. It's all about functionality. The same thing you probably do comparing F1 cars, right? If you're looking at an F1 car, nobody ever goes, oh, I like that logo better, or I think that's a prettier car, or I like that color. It doesn't matter. How fast is the car? What's the performance like? What's the handling like? So the same thing with dive watches. It is a dive watch. So it's about functionality, performance. That's it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to compare these two watches. Let's get going. So these are the two watches in question. And just remember, this is about diving. It has nothing else to do with this. So I'm going to try to stick to the things that matter with diving. So the first thing I would say about a dive watch would be the size. The bigger one wins. This is 42, this is 40. This is an 116610. They do have the new, more modern one, which is 41 millimeters, which would mean that the Seiko still is a better dive watch because of the size. So that's the first thing. They're both, the other measurements, they're both 13 millimeters. They're both 48 lug to lug. So the measurements are pretty much the same except for the diameter, which matters when you're diving. So Seiko for sure. When it comes to the metal, 904, and this is the Ever Brilliant. I have to say that this is a much brighter metal. Does it matter diving? No, it just doesn't. Although they say that this has better pitting resistance. I myself have never seen a stainless steel watch pitting. I just haven't seen it. So if you have to give it to anything, it goes to Seiko, but I think it's a moot point. When it comes to bezel action, I love this Rolex bezel. I think everybody does. When it comes to this bezel, it's just fantastic. You know, the way it feels. Unfortunately, I'm going to tell you, I think it's more of a fidget thing for in the office because this bezel is harder to turn, and yes, it lines up for the wise guys that say Seikos don't line up. It should. It's $4,700 Seiko. This has better grip. It has that buttery smooth, but it takes some effort to turn it, which I think is important for a dive watch. So I definitely give it to the Seiko for the bezel. When it comes to crown guards, this has got great crown guards. This one's at 4, so it doesn't stick in your wrist. I honestly don't think either one is better. It's just a preference. So moot point. When it comes to lume, this is one of the things that will matter a lot, and everybody should know this. That Seiko Lume Bright just kills Rolex. It kills it. I think it's chromalite, it's called. I do like the blue hue and everything, but this thing is a nightlight. Everybody knows that about Seiko. And when you get to the higher end, SLAs, oh my God, these things are so bright, it's unbelievable. When it comes to the dial, this dial's black, so obviously it loses its visibility very quickly. Believe it or not, there's something called absorption with divers and dive watches. And I always thought that an orange dive watch was the best because you could see it longer. Actually, orange is one of the first colors to go away, I think, within 33 feet. Believe it or not, the color that lasts the longest in diving is blue, and it's down to 300 feet. This is blue fume. If you got to give it to anybody, you got to give it to Seiko. I don't think it matters at that point. It's lume that you're looking for. So this is not in any specific order, but the other thing about this is, and this is going to be one that people, a point of contention, but you know, this bracelet is a great bracelet, but there is no way in hell that you can use this for diving. I am sorry, but it just doesn't have that. It's not going to fit around a wetsuit. It's just not going to. There's no way this is going to fit around a wetsuit. It's just not going to. So when you're talking about, you know, wearing it for dive watch, what's important is that it fits around a wetsuit. All of Seiko's watches, and people complain about this all the time, that the tongues are too long and they're sticking out. Yes, so they can fit around a wetsuit. This is an aftermarket because the one that comes on is really beefy. I don't really like it, but it's very long, and yes, it fits around a wetsuit. So for diving, definitely Seiko again. When it comes to finish, the 904 and the Ever Brilliant steel, So this one looks brighter, but I think that's also why the finish looks better to me. People say Zaratsu polishing. I don't care. It's also a moot point though. This does not matter with dive watch. It just doesn't matter. So it's moot. It's not even a discussion. There shouldn't be. When it comes to the movement, I definitely have to give it to Rolex. I think Rolex is a better, more modern movement, and it has 20-hour power reserve. Although this is another moot point, because this one's keeping +1, this one's keeping +1. It really doesn't matter, even if it's, you know, +2, +3, +5. It doesn't matter. You're diving for about an hour. The 20 hours more power reserve doesn't matter unless you're going to lay this thing on the bottom of the ocean for 20 hours and come pick it up. It doesn't matter. So it's a moot point, as long as it's a reliable movement, and they both have that. So moot point. The indices. These are beautiful. Obviously, I mean, the Rolex has, I think, the 18 karat white gold indices surrounded, beautifully finished. These things are amazing, though. The attention to detail, you can't see it, but they're kind of scalloped. Does this matter? No, it doesn't matter either. It's a moot point. So also, I mentioned briefly the steel. So this is 904, this is Ever Brilliant. Does that really matter? I don't think so. Although they say that this is better resistance to pitting. And I've seen all of the facts about it compared to the 904, so I do believe them, but I've never seen a stainless steel watch come out of the water that was pitted. I just haven't. So to me, it has to be a moot point. It just does. So there's other things. The crystals, they're the same, pretty much. The things that matter, that we really compare, don't matter in diving. So the price doesn't matter, right? Because we're talking about a dive watch. Obviously, more affordable may be more attainable by people. If that's the case, it's the Seiko. But this is not a cheap Seiko. This is $4,700. So you're talking $5,000 out the door. This is probably around $10,000. The resale value on Seikos is horrible for this. That's good for some people because you can get them at a good price. You can get these for a couple $1,000s, and they're beautiful watches. But that doesn't matter with diving. None of this matters with diving. You know, the only thing that really matters is the things that help a diver. So really, it comes down to the size. It comes down to the lume, it comes down to the bezel action, and it comes down to the crown. I think that's pretty much it, unless I'm missing something. So I definitely have to give it to Seiko for this, for being a better dive watch. So anyway, that's it. So let's go back up top. Thanks. Okay, I'm sure that ruffled feathers. I guarantee it. It's just the way things have been going for me with the dive watches lately. But it was a dive watch comparison. I'm a diver. I dove with both of those, and that's my opinion. What I do believe, though, is you should buy what you like. Very simply, buy what you like, whether it's a Citizen, a Boulevard, or a Rolex. It doesn't matter. Whatever you like, buy. It's your watch. I just gave you my opinion as a diver who dove with both of those watches, and that was the outcome. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Thanks.